All right, we're live. Well, all right. All righty, welcome into the Hayden Coker Show here live from Buffalo Wild Wings in Hell City, Alabama. It's the Hayden Coker Show presented to you by Senator Lance Bell. Senator Lance Bell, the best man I know, the best man that he knows. And they've got Morgan Wallen playing right now. It's taking everything in me not to sing and just stop the show here. And as much as I love to sing, you know what, the show must go on. But yeah, guys. Anyway, it's college football week. Okay, we've waited a few weeks for this. We saw the polls. We saw the final poll, the ranking come out a few weeks ago, and now guess what? We finally have our college football playoff taking place. Okay, tomorrow night, Oklahoma and Alabama are going to be playing. That's going to be a fun one. I really hope everybody is excited for that one, as excited as I am, or I hope you're as excited as I am. I don't know if it's possible, but I'm ready for tomorrow night, man. I'm extremely excited tomorrow. I actually have a Christmas party, and, well, we're going to open presents. We're going to spend time with our family, recognize the true meaning of Christmas, which is that Jesus Christ's son, Jesus Christ, he rose on the third day for us. And, yeah, man, it's Jesus Christ's birthday. We appreciate that. And, yeah, man, that's what we're going to be celebrating tomorrow night. And to top it all off, we've got college football, man. We've got college football tomorrow night. This is not something that I'm usually used to, not used to having a Christmas party and a college football playoff game in the same day. But you know what? Here we go. Here we are. And it's fine. I'm not complaining about it at all. But I'm more so just kind of like baffled, stunned that this is a thing. Okay, a few years ago, we would have never thought that we would have been having a college football playoff, or maybe some people would have thought, but would have even thought about having a college football playoff game on the night of a Christmas party, unless you have it late. You have a late Christmas party. But it is what it is, man. It is what it is. And you know what? We're moving on. I'm not disappointed in that at all. In fact, I'm happy about it. So why don't we do a little something right here? Okay, I'm gonna, instead of going right into said games, I'm going to tell you a little bit about the transfer portal. We're going to talk about the transfer portal a little bit. This Michigan head coaching search is getting a little wacky. I don't know where this is going. I don't know where Michigan is trying to go. You've heard rumors about Kalen DeBoer. Per himself, he's not leaving, and he will be the coach of Alabama next year. Do we know that for sure? We all know what coach speak is. Is this coach speak? You know, can you identify this in this certain situation? I don't know. Kenny Dillingham, he's kind of said the same thing. You know, he doesn't want to go anywhere and has expressed his love for Arizona State. I don't know if he's weighing the option of it. I don't know if Michigan has reached out to him or not. I don't know if he's reached out to him. I don't know what's going on there with that entire situation. What I do know is that there are a few things that we can just kind of take away from the whole thing. And those said few things, we can sort it. You know, maybe Michigan is going after Kenny Dillingham, and they just have not agreed on anything yet. Maybe they're going back and forth in discussion. Maybe just maybe, Kalen DeBoer and Michigan are in talks. I don't think that's the case. Maybe Kalen DeBoer and Michigan are in the talks, because what if Alabama loses tomorrow night? Is that something that happens? I guess it was earlier last week, I was talking to a buddy of mine that if Alabama lost, kind of jokingly, kind of not, if Alabama lost, Kalen DeBoer just might be on his way out. I don't really think that's the truth, but I just kind of said, like I said, it jokingly. But I don't know, man. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. It's going to be an interesting few weeks, an interesting few days as we look at who's going to win these games, as we sit down tomorrow night, as we watch at halftime. Is Oklahoma going to be up? Is it going to be a 7-3 game? Is it going to be a 3-0 game? Because Oklahoma's defense is just so good. What's going to happen? Okay, because their offense is not any good. We have seen that. We have established that. All but what I had imagined coming into the year. Okay, I thought that Ben Arbuckle and this John Mateer guy that they're bringing over from Washington State, and I thought he was going to be like the savior for the Sooners. Was it going to be praise God, Boomer Sooner? I don't know. No, what I thought was that this was going to be a revelation for this Oklahoma offense, and clearly that has not happened yet. I don't think that happens tomorrow night. I just don't see something changing because we haven't seen it all year. We've seen some good offense from Oklahoma at times, but we haven't seen a consistently good offense. Even when John Mateer was pre-injury John Mateer, PI, if you want to go that route. Before he was injured, the offense was good, but it didn't appear that it was all that great. Like, it wasn't anywhere near what we thought it was going to be, even before the injury. So this is one of those situations where I'm kind of sitting back and I'm kind of letting my brain take it all in. And obviously I have, and I'm going to break it down a little bit later, I have Oklahoma winning this football game. But I'm going to let my brain dictate that as we go throughout the game. Second quarter, as that game progresses, what's going to happen? Is that going to be, like I said earlier, is it going to be a 3-0 game in the second quarter, going into halftime? Is it going to be maybe a 17-14 game, a 14-0 game? Maybe Alabama's winning this thing. Okay, all I'm saying right now, I'll tell you this right now. Yes, I have Oklahoma winning the game. Alabama scores 28 points. They are fine. They're fine. Now, that's a hard thing. That's a hard thing to do against this. I got to take a sip of the Buffalo Wild Wings CT. Woo! All right. Anyways, so I don't know what it was, man. I got choked up, dude. Maybe it's the honey garlic sauce from earlier that I had on my wings. I don't know, dude. One thing I can tell you, and appreciate everybody joining in on TikTok. That's through my phone, not through the show. All right. But anyways, that is going to be a heck of a football game. I think we're going to get to the fourth quarter, to about the 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter, and realize that, hey, these are two teams that are battling it out right now. I don't think the winner will be decided within the fifth minute, in the final 5 minutes. Excuse me. I don't think the winner will be decided once we get to that 5-minute mark in the fourth quarter. I think we will still be trading blows, going back and forth. Now, whether trading blows is, sacks or an interception or turnovers, I don't know. I don't think it'll be scoring-wise. Maybe, possibly, I don't know. But you know what? We'll see. All right. I've got to move on from this because I've got to get to something, and we'll talk about the playoff game later. But anyways, all right. So this year for Buffalo Wild Wings, this year for Christmas, Buffalo Wild Wings in Pell City is helping a local child have a great Christmas. Please join us with donations to help bring Christmas joy to this little girl during this holiday season. Everything is appreciated, and nothing is too small. When you donate, please sign an ornament to go on our giving tree with your name and number for a chance to win a $25 gift card at Buffalo Gift Basket. So basically, when you come in Buffalo Wild Wings, there'll be a place where you can sign said ornament and you can put it up right there. Just ask some fellow employees there. They're phenomenal people. They'll get it up for you. Thank you and Merry Christmas. So this little girl, she is 7 years old. Her clothing size is anywhere between it's the 6'7" clothing size. Just saying. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that had to happen. I'm so sorry. Her shoe size is a youth size 1, and her wish list are baby dolls, Barbie houses, Barbies, and learning games. So the last day to donate is Monday, December 22nd. So you have one more Sunday to do so. One more Sunday to do so. All right. After that, it's over with. It's over with. All right. So now let's get to it. I've got a little knot on my hand. Don't really know what that is, but we're going to move on here, and we're going to go ahead and end the TikTok live because I've actually got to do something here. Anyways, we ended that. We've got some people chiming in. Christina Pinson, Roll Tide. Trace McMillan says Bama will win it all. Trace McMillan, big Alabama guy. Christina Pinson, obviously we're big Alabama fans in this group chat, okay? But what's going to happen in this Oklahoma-Bama game? All right, well, I'm going to break it down for you now. And you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and break this out. The Hayden Coker Show college football playoff prediction. All right? You wanted it. Guess what? You got it. Let's go. There it is. You can see it on the screen. That is how I have this thing playing out. Now, as you can see, Oregon is beating JMU. We know that. We have Ole Miss beating Tulane. We know that. Now we have Oklahoma over Alabama and Texas A&M over Miami. Now, there are a few games on this list that I want to go over real quick. And first off, I'm going to start in the first round. And this is basically all we're going to have time for tonight. We've got to make it a quick show. We have another assignment with 94.1 The River that we have to get to. So, yeah. Anyways, number 8, Oklahoma versus number 9, Alabama. All right. What's happening in this game? Well, let me tell you, I kind of already broke that down for you. I think it'll be a lower scoring game. I think that Oklahoma's offense obviously is a little, how would you say this, amateur, a little lackluster, you could say. Now, Alabama, on the other hand, Alabama has shown at times that their offense can be good. It can be deadly. What's happening with Todd Simpson? There was rumors that he had a herniated disc. How much truth to that is there? We don't know. I haven't heard anything about that in at least a week. And now what we're kind of focused on is not that, but what's going to happen tomorrow on the football field in Norman, Oklahoma. Like, I don't know that. So I'm not relying on any sort of injury from Todd Simpson. I'm not doing that. I made my prediction solely based on the field performance so far. If you would have asked me this 6 weeks into the season, well, I say 6 weeks. I might have still said Oklahoma because Oklahoma was playing out of their mind. If you would have asked me week 8, 9, I would have said Oklahoma. And in one of the final games of the year, Alabama played Oklahoma, and I chose Alabama. And I didn't think it was going to be a close game at all. I thought Alabama was going to, have it a walk in the park. Well, guess what? They lose that game. Now you find yourself going into Gaylord Memorial Stadium in Norman, Oklahoma, and you have to beat the same team that you lost to just a few weeks ago. All right, so how's that going to happen? Alabama's lost to this team 2 times in the span of a year and a few months. Is the same thing going to happen over the next few days? Tomorrow? I don't know if that's going to happen. I think that'll happen, but I think it's more so going to happen in the sense of a slowly moving offensive game. I think it's going to be ugly. I think people are probably going to want to turn the freaking TVs off at some point. I know Alabama fans will. I know Oklahoma fans will at some point. I think there will be multiple hair follicles missing by the end of the night. I think there will be multiple fingernails that are chewed off. And I think there's going to be a lot of clothing changed for all the superstitical people, if that's what you want to call it, out there. Now, I'm not saying that I'm a superstitious person, but what I am saying is it'll be a slowly drawn out game. I think that eventually one of these teams is going to find themselves in deep water, and the demise will be met. The demise will be met. And unfortunately for Alabama, I think that demise is to the Crimson Tide. Now, we can talk about it all we want to. That's what I think happens. And the more and more that – and here's what I kind of want to get to is take a sip of this real quick. Ooh, man. Oh, baby. Wow. That's good. As we slowly move on throughout the postseason, I think we're going to realize a lot about some of the teams in the playoffs, and Alabama's has not met the standard to be one of those teams thus far. Now, earlier in the season, like I said, guys, earlier in the season, I thought Alabama was one of the best teams in the country. Okay, I had them top 5 for the majority of the year, and I think that the majority of the people that have watched my show can attest to that. Others they've seen maybe 1 or 2 things that I've said, can take it out of context. Now, I do think, though, permanently, I do think that eventually Oklahoma wins the game and advances on to the next round. Okay, now let's look at the bottom part of the bracket. Texas A&M and Miami are playing. The Aggies are playing a game where Miami can certainly come in and win this game. I think that it's not necessarily a favorable matchup, but I think this is a lot better of a matchup than what this is an obvious statement, but Ole Miss and Tulane. Okay, and not just by the namesake, but just because of how the 2 teams play, okay? How the 2 teams are facilitated. Ole Miss is one of those teams that's going to go out there and they're going to put up 40 on you, okay? They've already done that to Tulane this year, and they whooped the absolute hell out of them. Tulane cannot hang with Ole Miss. But when it comes, and just the style of play, it just doesn't work out. Excuse me. Woo! Now let's take a look at Texas A&M. My goodness, I got the burps. And Ohio State, Texas A&M and Miami. I'm struggling here. Forgive me. I'm battling. My gosh. My goodness. Texas A&M and Miami is going to be one of those games where I think Miami is going to go out there and they're going to give Texas A&M a rough start. Okay, I think Miami is going to give Texas A&M a rough start, and A&M is going to have a tough time early, but I think that Marcel Reed and these guys on this Texas A&M offense, they're going to get it figured out. I think they get it out. I think they get it figured out closer towards the end of the first half, and then I think it's Texas A&M's game to lose. I think that Cassius Howell defensively, he's going to give this Miami offense absolute hell. I'm not saying that it'll be a defensively dominated game per Texas A&M standpoint. That's not what I'm saying at all. I do think that later on, I think that the defense from A&M will probably step up and they will cause more of a factor than they did earlier on in the game. Miami may have some success early. Okay, now like I told you, it's one of most electric freshmen in the country, if not one of the most electric players in the country. Carson Beck is one of the better quarterbacks in the country. Not saying he's the best, chill out, but he's one of the better quarterbacks in the country. And I just think that Miami offensively, they've got some star power on their side of the football. Defensively, they got some star power on that side of the football. So don't be surprised. This is a close game going into the latter minutes of the fourth quarter. But I do want to tell you right now, I think that A&M wins this game, and they score a touchdown late, and I think that will lead them to, whether this is a 10-point game or a 14-point game, I think that'll pull them ahead. Okay, there you go. Texas A&M wins that game. Now, as you can see, I have the rest of the bracket faring out as it is. I have Oregon beating Texas Tech in the quarterfinals, then Indiana beating Oklahoma in the quarterfinals, Georgia over Ole Miss, and then I have Texas A&M, the 7th seed, upsetting the number 2 seed in the college football playoff. A&M upsets Ohio State in the quarterfinal round. Now, in the semifinals, I have Texas Tech and I have Indiana playing. Now, I think that'll be a phenomenal game, man. I'm super excited for that one. But I have Indiana winning that game. I think that'll be a lower scoring affair. But like we saw a few weeks ago when like I saw a few weeks ago when Indiana knocked off Texas Tech. Indiana knocked off Ohio State. My goodness, I'm sorry. It'll be a lower scoring game, low scoring affair, and then defensively, I think Indiana's probably just going to drag Texas A&M into the deep end. This is, for instance, A&M. For instance, Indiana is the crocodile in this situation, and there's this poor little antelope crossing the river, thinking it's going to get to the other side, and just Indiana is going to see blood in the water. Okay, they're going to drag them into the deep end, and like I said, I think it'll be a close game. I think it'll be a defensive game, hard-fought game. But ultimately, I do think that Indiana pulls away and wins this game. Now, let's look at the bottom half of the bracket. You have Georgia taking on Texas A&M, per the Hayden Coker show. Georgia is one of those teams where they can just beat up on you defensively, okay? They're not one of those teams that's just going to go out there and put up 40 every game. But they are one of those teams that can go out there and they can assert their dominance early. Look at what they did against Texas. They asserted their dominance early. Defensively, they were stifling. Offensively, they went up. They slowly but surely put some points on the board. And then later in the game, you saw where this was more of like a Texas. It was a game for Texas that they had to score, go home. Well, this is another team in Texas that Georgia's going to put a nail in the coffin. And A&M fans out there, I hate to say it, you can say gig them all you want to. It's the dog game, man. It's go dogs. Who's that coming down the track? It's the Mean Machine in the red and black, and I think those guys make it to the national championship game where they face off against the Indiana Hoosiers, and they drag Indiana into deep waters. Okay, that's going to be one of those games where Georgia just comes out as a more physical team. Okay, Georgia, we've seen what they've been over the years. We've seen what they've been this year. It's obviously not their best team that they had, but you know what it is? You know what it is with Georgia? They're a team that can physically drain you. And that's what they will do to Indiana in the national championship game. Defensively, they are just going to be too strong, too physical. Georgia wins a game. Gunnar Stockton has his championship game moment. And Dylan Bill, I think, is one of those guys who can also be one of those who can also be the MVP of the championship game. I genuinely think that. And by the way, watch out for Dylan Bill in the college football playoffs. That's all I'm going to say. Gunnar Stockton, too. He's up there, man. I'm telling you. All right. That is the college football playoff. That is my prediction. That is my pick'em. I have to use the bathroom. That is how I see it. That is how I see it ending. Okay. I hope you enjoy that. Now, let's move on. Okay. We've got some other stuff that we're going to have to talk about here. And this is important. Okay. So let's just digress for a second. The honey garlic wings are messing my stomach up, man. Woo! Good gracious. Good gracious. All right, now let's move on. Now I want to talk about some of the transfer portal entries, soon to be anyways. We've got multiple key players. And for Auburn, this kind of stinks because you've got Jay Crawford, who has just entered the transfer portal or plans to. Jay Crawford in the portal. Malik Blockton is planning to enter the portal. Malcolm Simmons. Okay, so you've lost some key guys on offense so far. Harry Thompson, he's another one of those guys. And I'm not saying all these guys go back or come back to Auburn, because just because you enter the portal does not mean that you are dead set on just leaving. Okay, that means you're exploring your options, and you very well could be gone. But it doesn't for sure mean that that a certain player is leaving. Just so we have that clear and we have that out there. All right. So don't everybody panic just yet on the Auburn train, okay? It's okay. You've got a new head coach. I think that everybody expected some transfers at some point. So, sure, you're losing some guys. You're going to get some guys in. You're going to get some portal players in. Don't worry. Watch out for Byron Brown, too, by the way. All right. Now, by the way, Ashton Daniels is another one of those guys to look out for. I don't think anything is official yet, but I know there was some rumor about it. I saw whether that's true or not. I do not believe it's true, but it's just out there. I'm just telling you what's out there. All right. So Alex Golis has been hired as Auburn's head coach. Players are out. Some players are going to come in. That's fine. Let's look at some other players that have entered the portal plan to so far. All right. Both for Beulah. I didn't see this one coming at all. I'm not saying it doesn't make sense, but I just didn't see it coming. I thought that he would come back next year and probably play. Zollers is a good quarterback, but I didn't necessarily think that he showed that potential that he was. Well, he showed potential, obviously, but I didn't think that he showed any sense of, I'm ready to be I'm ready to be QB1 yet. Maybe he shows that over the spring. We'll see. Drew Mestamaker. All right, Drew Mestamaker, another one of those guys that I think a lot of people have their eye on. It was alleged that Indiana had pursued him strongly and then backed off. I don't know if that's still a thing. I don't know if Indiana is still in talks or not. What I can tell you is that Oklahoma State is the leading favorite to land Drew Mestamaker. That is just kind of common sense right now. Eric Morris, the head coach at North Texas, former head coach, took the job at Oklahoma State. Mestamaker, he plans to enter the portal. He's going to play his college football playoff game. He would have played his college football playoff game. Now he's not in the playoffs. They lost to Tulane. But I don't even think he's going to play in a bowl game. So I'm pretty positive he's gone. We will fact check that, but I don't think he's there anymore. Anyways, you have Mestamaker. Brendan Sorsby, I think, is another one of those guys that can really contribute somewhere. Now, where does he do that? I don't know. A lot of people are saying Texas Tech. I think Brendan Sorsby has shown a lot of pro potential. He's made some ball head moves. That's going to happen with some quarterbacks out there. But a lot of people kind of thought this guy was pro ready. A lot of people kind of saw the struggles. I don't know where this kid's going to go. I can say that I think it's probably going to be Texas Tech based on where his girlfriend is going. Yeah, that's a thing. But and I don't fault him at all. Okay? But that's just kind of where I think that is leading. All right? Now, Amarion Miller, quarterback, wide receiver for Colorado. Very good wide receiver for Colorado. And he's in the portal right now, or plans to. Anyways, this is where it gets interesting because some of these heavier, these more, how do I say this? These more known teams, we'll say it that way. These more dynamic teams, I guess. These guys are going to be poaching some of these smaller Power 4 teams, some of these smaller FCS teams, these Group of 5 teams. That's what's going to happen. Amarion Miller will be at a Power program next year. He was at a Power program this year in Colorado. But you get what I'm saying. He's going to be at a esteemed Power next year. So just go ahead, watch out for that. That's going to happen. DJ Lagway is in the portal. I didn't see that one coming. I guess I understand it. New coach, blah, 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 whatever. They had some meetings between Summerall and the new staff and then Lagway. And apparently this didn't go well. So that is what it is. Real quick, I got to stop and tell you about Steel 174, though. Steel 174. So these guys, Bobby Dawson and Daniel Welch over at Steel 174, great construction company. They can build you a massive house, man, whether it's a massive house, whether it's a small house, whether it's a medium-sized house with a little old garage on the side, whatever you need. These guys can build it for you, okay? These guys, they're top tier when it comes to building houses, okay? So you need to go out. You need to go to Steel 174 on Facebook. That is Steel, Steele 174. Daniel Dawson, Bobby Welch. Fantastic crew over there as well behind the scenes. So go over Steel 174. Those guys can get you done. They are still strong, still reliable, Steel 174. Now, guys, back to the portal. Lagway's gone. Nick Marsh is another wide receiver at Michigan State that he's planning to enter the portal. Where he goes, it's going to be interesting. Okay, so like I said, like the same problem with Colorado. Look at what some of these more esteemed power programs are doing. They're not, I guess you could say, poaching off of some of these smaller programs. Poaching, yes, I'm saying that word literally. Some of these smaller programs are getting their good players, and that's just kind of how college football works now. If you don't like it, you just kind of got to deal with it. But that's kind of how college football is working right now. I hate it more than anybody. I think it's terrible. I think that kids should stay at their beloved program that they love so much for 4 years. But it's understandable that some of these higher tier programs are going to pay some of these kids more money. They have a better chance of being drafted if they go to one of these higher tier, upper tier schools. So that's just kind of like a thing now. And that's just something we're going to have to deal with. But it is what it is, man. We'll get to it. That's really all there is to it, man. And like I said, I hate it. I hate it more than anybody, but it's the unfortunate truth of where we're at today. Now, moving on, I've got some potential top games, but before I get to those, I want to get to A.J. McCarron hired as the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions. Interesting, very interesting. I don't really know what to think of this. I didn't think of A.J. McCarron as a coach. He was running as believe it was Attorney General. Maybe correct me if I'm wrong there. I'm not source. So that's kind of what threw me off, man. I thought that he was running for office. He was choosing the political side of things. And he told it on Jocks 94.5 this morning, man. He said that he got a call on the way back from some Christmas party, political Christmas party, and he got the call talking about it, seeing if he was interested, and I guess it's the route he decided to choose, but. Anyways, that's aside from my point tonight. I just wanted to kind of mention that. I want to go over top games that could potentially happen throughout this college football playoff. And while it is a little unlikely, I think that not unlikely. While it is, but it's my prediction, so odds are it's probably unlikely. Georgia, Indiana in the national championship game. I think that would be the best matchup in this college football playoff. I mean that. I think that would be a game that feeds families. A late fourth quarter touchdown drive by Gunnar Stockton. Is that what happens? Or is it Fernando Mendoza with another game-sealing drive for the Indiana Hoosiers and another phenomenal post-game speech by Fernando Mendoza? Is Kurt Cignetti going to get a national championship ring in his second year with the program, his second year in the Big Ten? I don't know, man. That's what I think. You have Ohio State, Indiana, which we saw. That's going to be a fantastic matchup either way. We saw it happen in the first matchup. Indiana goes on to win that game 13-10 in what was just a great game, all-around great game. Excuse me. OU Bama, man. This game takes place tomorrow night in the quarterfinals, the round of 12, I guess you could call it, the round of 12. So the opening round, Oklahoma, Bama are facing off. This is going to be the best game of the weekend. Close. Why? Now, if you're a fan of offense, maybe it's A&M, and maybe it's A&M. As we take a look at the bracket here once again, we can take a look at the bracket. Yeah, because why not? As we take a look at the bracket here once again, A&M and Miami is going to be that game that's more so sought after if you're a fan of the higher scoring teams out there. But right now, Oklahoma, Bama, both struggling offensively. They have been over the last few weeks. So I don't know, man. That's just kind of how I see it playing out right now. But that's another good game. A&M, Ohio State. I think that's a phenomenal game. That's going to be a phenomenal game. And I think that is going to be probably one of the best games of the playoff, right behind Georgia and Indiana. If said thing happens, as well as if A&M knocks off Miami. So something we'll have to see about. Is what it is. All right, guys, we got to wrap it up. We've got some engagements tonight that we have got to be at. So I do appreciate you. This is the Hayden Coker Show presented to you by Senator Lance Bell. Senator Lance Bell, the best man that I know, the best man that he knows as well. Great guy, man. We love all that Lance does for us and for the show. He's worked wonders for us. So we highly appreciate Senator Lance Bell. But yeah, we're going to keep going. We're going to build on it throughout the week. Much like how Steel 174, they build on their houses, man. They continue to build from the ground up, okay? Each and every single day. These guys are working on houses. They're going out there, they're building from the ground up. It's not your typical gingerbread house. No. These guys aren't your little fairies who go down the street. They pick out some cute little nails to put on the walls and whatnot, and cute little wall designs. Okay, that's for us to do. Okay, that's what I like to do. I like decor. Okay, I like home decor, however you say it. That's my thing. All right, these guys, Daniel, Dawson, Bobby, they build your house. They build it with these, and they build it with a great amount of efficiency. So that's what they do. Go watch these guys, see what they do. You can go to Steel 174 on Facebook. That's STEELE 174 on Facebook. Daniel Welch, Dawson Welch, Bobby Welch, Steel 174. They'll get it done for you. All right, guys, we got to get out of here. They are still strong, still reliable. It's Steel 174. And guys, we're gone. I appreciate you. Shout out to Buffalo Wild Wings for having us each and every week. We will see you guys next week on another episode. It will be Thursday. Thursday's Christmas. But guess what? We will be back next week. All right? Wait, is Thursday? Yeah, next Thursday's Christmas. All right, guys. We'll be right back next week. Y'all be good. Take care. Please don't get into any trouble. Don't go to jail. I need your viewership. Thanks, guys. Y'all have a good one.